Welcome to this edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, an official day of mourning has been declared for the late Bishop Daniel. Government signs contracts for 10 houses in the Castle Bruce Constituency, and the housing revolution is being credited as reducing poverty in Dominica. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
A lot of bathtubs are blamed for bruises. Some staircases are accused of being responsible for broken bones. Doors are occasionally viewed suspiciously as causing lesions. A high percentage of tables are accused of producing bleeding or trauma. Violence against women is a crime, and it's everyone's responsibility. It's inexcusable. If you're a victim or witness of physical or psychological violence or abuse, seek help and denounce the perpetrator.
Thanks for staying with us. The Honorable Minister for Lands, Housing and Settlements, Reginald Austrie, says that the numerous initiatives under the government-enacted housing revolution has significantly reduced the rate of poverty in Dominica. The minister made this statement in his address to Parliament in July.
We've been able to do 204 homes, 49 from the aid bank, 51 from the Government Housing Loans Board, and 104 under the $10 million given concessionary financing for mortgages, Madam Speaker. And so, Madam Speaker, these are some of the interventions that we have made that today we can say for sure that we know that the rate of poverty has in fact gone down, because housing is a major component of the standard of living of any people, Madam Speaker. And we're confident and we're happy and we're satisfied that we have done all we could to ensure, Madam Speaker, that our people live with some decency, Madam Speaker.
According to the minister, over 1,400 additional homes are expected to be constructed in the future of the ever-expanding housing revolution.
Under the housing program, under the housing revolution, many people are quite asking if it will continue. Yes, the housing revolution will continue. And we'll be adding a new component to the housing revolution, Madam Speaker, which is the construction of 1,500 homes for needy persons, Madam Speaker. And very shortly, on the passage of this budget, we'll outline to the country exactly how that's going to be done. But there is $10 million, Madam Speaker, in the estimates for that particular program. So the housing revolution, Madam Speaker, is there to stay. And I've said on many occasions that it will be expanded to meet the needs of the people of Dominica.
Honorable Austrie, who is also the Minister for Water Resource Management, touched on some of the initiatives taken by government to alleviate the strain of accessing potable water in some areas.
My records show me that between 2000 and now, the government has spent over $180 million, Madam Speaker, in providing potable water to the people of Dominica. But in more recent times, Madam Speaker, we have had the upgrade of the water area 1, Madam Speaker, to the tune of some $250,000. The entire project is a $20 million project, Madam Speaker. In Benz, we're talking about $4.2 million for the Benz project, Madam Speaker. In Grand Fund, Shufford, we're talking about $3.2 million. In Grand Bay, Madam Speaker, we recently replaced the pipes in Grand Bay at a cost of $500,000, Madam, in the area, Madam Speaker. In Savannah and Scott's Head, we're looking to spend another $1.3 million to bring water to Scott's Head, Madam Speaker. We also have to extend the water in Point Michelle, United States, Madam Speaker. And as I said before, we're spending out $2.5 million on bringing water to Grand Savannah, Madam Speaker. In Penville and Viecas, Madam Speaker, we spend another $1.2 million for Viecas, Madam Speaker. And so all over the country, Madam Speaker, the government has been seeking to improve the quality of life for the people of Dominica.
The government of Dominica has declared Monday, September 8, 2014, an official day of mourning for the late president of the Dominica Association of Evangelical Churches, Bishop Michael Bill Daniel. Bishop Daniel, who passed away on Friday, August 22nd after a battle with cancer, was an active member of society in both his religious capacity and otherwise. Commencing his preaching ministry at the age of 15, Daniel went on to become Bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies, Dominica District in 2000, and resident pastor of the People's Pentecostal Family Church in 2001. He was pastor of the Cochrane Pentecostal Church and founder of the Shepherd's Care Social Ministry. The late bishop also led the prayer at the Parade of Uniformed Troops on Independence Day for a number of years. Bishop Daniel was awarded the Dominica Meritorious Service Award in 2012 for his service in pastoral ministry and was a member of the Dominica Cricket Association Disciplinary Committee, as well as Secretary-Treasurer of the Dominica Softball Cricket Development Committee, as well as a cricket commentator. The Dominica flag will be flown at half-staff on all public buildings in the state throughout the day of mourning. Bishop Daniel will also be afforded a state funeral by the government of Dominica on September 8th. His Excellency the President, Charles Savary, and Mrs. Savary, the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and Mrs. Skerrit, Honorable Speaker of the House Alex Boyd Knights, other cabinet and parliamentary members, members of the diplomatic corps, and other government officials are expected to be present. Public viewing begins at 1:30 p.m. at the People's Pentecostal Family Church in Goodwill, and the official funeral at 2:30 p.m. The late bishop will be laid to rest at the Rosa Public Cemetery. All officials are requested to be seated no later than 2:15 p.m. 10 families in the Castle Bruce Constituency will soon be homeowners, compliments the People's Republic of China and the government of Dominica. The gift comes in response to several homes being destroyed by natural disasters in that constituency. On August 27th, at the 15th inaugural meeting of the Petit Soufriere Saint-Sauveur Village Council, government signed a contract for over $1 million for the construction of those houses.
Today, we will sign the contract for the houses. It will create employment for well over 100 persons of this area in the construction of these houses. Thanks to the people and government of China who are sponsoring these houses as a grant to the government and people of Dominica.
The Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit detailed the work that went into acquiring and preparing the land for work.
I want to say to you here, the contract which was signed is a very large sum, which will impact the lives of the community. But very importantly too is that every one of the contractors, every one of them is from this part. And I'm hoping that they can employ as many people as possible from this part of the country, so that the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of contracts that have been signed here this evening, every single dollar will stay in this community, in these communities, and help the economy of these communities. I want to, at this point, thank the Minister for Housing and his permanent secretary who give it all their efforts to ensure we could have had the signing ceremony here this evening. Because I know the families have been waiting for this project to commence. As you know, we had to purchase the land. We had to acquire the land in the first instance. And we had to now cut the roads there. And now we have to now surface the road, do the crossing, and the contract has been signed. So a number of things can happen at the same time.
Government signed contracts for the construction of those houses, as well as for work on the Livier-Louis Road, which leads to the site of the new houses. In other news, the Ministry of Health is determined to create the environment for enhanced and quality health services for all Dominicans. At the 2014-2015 budget presentation, the Honorable Minister for Health, Julius Timothy, outlined plans for the new fiscal year for his ministry.
We will continue to renovate our health facilities, particularly in the primary healthcare area. Purchase and provide the necessary equipment and machinery needed to decrease the number of persons for overseas travel for medical care, thereby making healthcare affordable and accessible to our people. We are indeed proud of our recent improvements in care for cancer patients and will continue to enhance the partnership with the Dominica Cancer Society.
Major policy documents and guidelines are on the cards for completion, including the implementation of national medicines policy and an electronic tendering system. Honorable Reginald Austri is satisfied that he has been able to accomplish a list of projects under his development plan for the 3 communities of Clifton, Capuchin, and Kokoye. The parliamentary representative for the Cottage constituency was speaking at the 15th inaugural meeting of the Clifton, Capuchin, Kokoye Village Council last Friday. The $1.2 million water project in Capuchin, $350,000 spent on the Mountain Road, the Health Center, the Resource Center, and the Kana Heritage Site are just a few of the major projects undertaken in these communities.
To my mind, those projects are very, very significant and can impact on the whole social and economic development of the Clifton, Capuchin, Kokoye community.
Honorable Austri also reiterated the recent initiative by government to assist senior citizens as outlined in the 2014-2015 national budget.
The government listened to the people, and the government heard the cry of the people, and the government felt the pain of the people. And although things are really, really bad, the government had to put in its budget some sort of relief and some sort of assistance to our senior citizens, 70 years and over, who have made their contribution to the development of not only Clifton, but the development of the country. And come at the end of September, all my friends there who are 70 years and over, who not receiving any form of income, will receive $200 from the government every month. And that includes not 200 to the husband or the wife, 200 to each individual. So if you have a husband, a wife, a grandmother, and a grandfather, that is $800 that will come into your, because every individual will receive $200 from the government.
These major accomplishments set the stage for more work to be done in his next term as parliamentary representative for the area.
In our next term, and me as Pal Rep, we'll continue the school transportation program. Nobody spoke about the school transportation program for the afternoon. When every single child going to PSS has a seat on a bus between Capuchin, Clifton, Kokoye, and PSS. Something that you probably had never heard of in a very, very, very long time. And to promise you that it will continue throughout this term. And as long as I continue to be your parliamentary representative, our students will no longer have trouble to walk up and down Platte, Swamp, and Tatan to get to school.
Honorable Austri also pledged to continue road rehabilitation, support to farmers, and possibly a village expansion project, among other initiatives during his next term in office. He noted that government has played and continues to play its part in meeting its commitments to these communities. He urged villagers to make their own contributions towards the development of the area. The 3 communities are getting ready to host hundreds for Heritage Day 2014. In Monday's news, we told you the village of Clifton was selected for this event. GIS News apologizes for this error and wishes to inform that Heritage Day will be held in the community of Capuchin this year. Meanwhile, the Honorable Minister for Social Services, Community Development and Gender Affairs continues to advocate against child abuse in Dominica. The minister raised awareness among residents in communities of Clifton, Capuchin, and Kokoye last Friday when she addressed the 15th inaugural meeting of the Village Council.
But I'm calling on families, on the parents, brothers, sisters, look out for our children. Protect them. They cannot protect themselves. So protect them from the predators who are lying in wait for the opportunities to harm them. And do not be afraid to report incidents which you have noticed going on in and around you. If you destroy a child, you also destroy the child's future.
Honorable Shillingford noted that the Labour administration is second to none in its social programs. She stated further that government will continue to play its role in the care of the youth, the future, and the elderly who set the foundation on which the nation continues to build. In related news, Dominicans are being encouraged to report cases of child abuse in Dominica and effectively wipe out the scourge on this island. The Welfare Division held a Child Abuse Awareness Fair on Saturday, August 30th at the Rosa Bayfront, under the theme Break the Silence, End Child Abuse in Dominica. As the fair aims to provide the public with information on the issue, Coordinator of the Child Abuse Prevention Unit, Jarna Luce, explained that reporting abuse cases is not only necessary, but simple and safe.
It's time that we as Dominicans take a step forward and report this. We want to inform you that reporting child abuse is in fact confidential and anonymous. You simply come to us to report at the Social Welfare Division or at any of your local police stations. You give the information of who you think is being abused and we act on it. Reporting child abuse is a form of ending child abuse. One child being abused is one too many.
According to Luce, the country is currently being plagued with cases of physical child abuse, neglect and abandonment of children, emotional child abuse, and sexual child abuse, which is the most frequently reported form of abuse. In light of these statistics, the Child Abuse Prevention Coordinator pleaded to break the cycle of child abuse.
We have to remember that when children are being abused, they go to the same schools as our other children. They are in the same clubs as our children. They're in the same activities. They're in the same church, in the same school, in the same environment, in the same community, in the same village. And children who have been abused, when they know these things and they're introduced to these things at such a tender age, they can introduce it to your children and let them know what is happening. And so it can continue as a cycle. And what we are saying, it is time that the cycle of child abuse ends. And it first starts with us breaking the silence.
Parents and guardians were provided with a wealth of information in the form of brochures and pamphlets. Saturday's fair also afforded the opportunity to ask questions to the child abuse prevention professionals. In the meantime, young ones were entertained with a variety of child-friendly activities. Scores of children animated the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard to get their faces and hands painted, to read, play, and of course, be children. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt fait donation avec $50,000 pour réhabilitation chez Clifton Capucin. Honorable Skerritt fait présentation là pour Chairman Village Council là, Augustin Auguste, pendant l'inauguration Council la semaine passée. Si le Premier ministre Skerritt, il y a espoir que le travail qui commence immédiatement si l'importance chemin là. Premier ministre a dit les peuples Dominique parler, gouvernement a coûté et puis au là il a assisté, ça a venu en réalité. Il aussi dit que le gouvernement a considéré le travail pour prendre place à ce jet là, mais c'est l'argent là available, ça qui est possible. Chairman Auguste remercie Premier ministre Skerritt aussi bas commitment servir l'argent là à de bonne manière. L'argent ça là qui venu en bon lait depuis communauté Clifton qui est l'occasion pour célébration héritage l'année ça là. En autre nouvelle, travail pour place bien formidable à cette l'occasion sport en grand fond. Parole ça là sorti au même parlement Honorable Ivor Stevenson.
Quand on plein field, ça c'est un plein field mon équipe bien belle. Tout le monde qui passe là, il est bien content plein field ça là. J'ai arrivé à la manière ça là. Autant parole contre grand fond plein field. Les autres parlent qui viennent là, ils parlent contre plein field, mais ils n'ont jamais fait plein field. Le moment où là, moi je là contre Asparlep, moi commencé à travailler là chez moi, à la plein field là. Ça qui est déjà fait d'avant, c'est ça. Il était déjà métier terre là, comment plein field là commencé. Ça déjà là, mais c'est le gouvernement libre qui gagne terre là. Mais le moment où tu là Asparlep, ça moi qui c'est ça. Nous dépenser plus passer $600,000, $600,000. Et puis mon content, nous arrivons stade ça là en plein fil là. Zebla a profité bien, comme on dit dans le National Employment Program, nous les femmes et puis hommes là, car c'est visible là, qui c'est qui a livré là, c'est belle zeb et puis mon cas de plein fil là bien belle. Nous comptons nous taper en machine pour couper zeb là. Et puis ça va faire tout de suite nous qui couper zeb là Nous avons l'autre temps la pluie, et puis nous croyons que c'est là, dans la situation là, il n'est pas trop haut. Et puis tout de suite, mon cas dit, jeune mon enfant, qui s'est tapé en plein fil, qui est bien belle, pour continuer à servir pour football, pour cricket et puis various sporting disciplines là.
En la nouvelle, le gouvernement Dominica a fondé ancien bishop l'église pentecostale Bill Daniel en lettrement officiel qui prend en place lundi le 8 septembre l'année 2014. Le gouvernement déclaré la journée la peine pour tenir respect pour défunt Daniel. Droit pour Dominique Kebisi à toute maison publique là. Daniel travaille comme bishop de l'église pentecostale pour 13 années. Et aussi était ancien président de l'église association l'Évangile en Dominique. En l'année 2012, Bishop Daniel recevait Meritorious Award pour travailler en affaires l'église. Daniel était aussi membre de l'association Bol Dominique et puis aussi un commentateur. Il était derrière Madame Lee Raffina, deux filles Tamara et puis Tracy, aussi grand garçon Kevin. Officier gouvernement en parmi président His Excellency Charles Savren et Madame Savren, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt et Madame Skerritt, Speaker Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, membre parlement, diplomatique corps et d'autres officiers qu'a expecté pour attendre les témoins. Moun qui garde cadavre là à Yone et Dimi après-midi et les témoins qui commencé à 2h30. Bishop Daniel qui était en cimetière public en Ouzo. Finalement, la compagnie d'Odowas a créé à ce public-là pour conserver de l'eau. Selon l'officier relations publiques Edward Regis, plusieurs mesures ça prend place pour conserver les ressources-là.
Il y a un pile de fonds pour faire. Nous pas pour gaspiller de l'eau, nous pas pour couper pied bois, nous-mêmes nous connaissons ça, nous pas pour faire manœuvre, nous sommes accoutumés avec l'eau, nous pas mêler l'eau là, sortir l'eau là, caler. Nous pour faire tout du fonds avec nous, des fonds qui a affecté l'eau, tout la terre, il y a climate change, il y a global warming, tout ça qui a affecté manière l'eau qui a venir dans le pays. Comme ça, nous pouvons faire tout différents efforts pour nous faire certain que nous toujours de l'eau. Planter pli pied bois, pas gaspiller l'eau avec pour nous éduquer comment nous a conservé l'eau. Comme ça, d'abord, ce qu'on a vu commission ça dehors, bah tout le monde pour faire certain que tout homme qui a participé, les enfants, grand monde, monde qui en l'âge, tout le monde ni en responsabilité pour faire certain que nous toujours de l'eau en Dominique pour nous injouir avec pour génération qui va venir injouir aussi.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson. Au revoir.
Coming up next, have you ever given any thought to the type of pillow that you sleep on? The best pillow for you coming up next.
DOWASCO recognizes that clean water is vital to healthy living. Therefore, it spares no effort in providing a clean, safe, and reliable system. Help keep our rivers safe and clean. Do not cut trees along the river banks and do not pollute with garbage, human or animal feces, and chemicals. Think water, think life.
Science says that you must choose your pillow according to the position you normally take when you sleep. Side sleepers need a firm pillow to support the head and neck. If you sleep on your back, a medium to firm pillow will help cushion your head, and the soft pillows are best for those who sleep on their stomachs. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Jarna Hector. Thanks for watching.